So today I'd like to speak about sabbaticals and why you should consider them in your arsenal during your career or during your life, whatever you do, because I consider it super important tool whenever you feel some kind of stagnation and it's long term. It's somehow becoming a norm where you are in a situation where repeatedly you are kind of questioning whether this direction you are going is a good direction, or there are aspirations which you would really like to test out or try or realize, and you don't have the time for that and you don't have the energy for that. And I think sabbaticals have its place in many cases, and I would like to focus especially on a case where the situation is following. You are on some type of career path and you do feel stagnation. You would like to change the status quo, which direction you're going, but clearly, because there is this either like a 9 to 5 or you have some type of business and there is really no time to experiment or try something new. It's not just executing set of tasks, you have a clear direction on, and you can kind of go away and do them step by step when you have free time. And generally this idea of like a career stagnation of some type after x amount of years is a situation where you are on a crossroads. Either you might leave the job, you might get fired, you might be forced to change job, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. I think the following insight I would like to give you: if you are undecisive in terms of whether it would make sense for you, because it's definitely some type of risks, there are some types of risks included. I'd like to share my experience because I've done that already 2 times, and I think that it's super useful. It's definitely not for free, literally and figuratively. And I think it's worth talking about it more because it can make the situation, it can bring you clarity in the long term. That's which is extremely valuable. So the first reason why I think you should strongly consider sabbatical or some extended time off is because if you do feel not happy in the direction you are going, or you do feel there are aspirations which are not fulfilled and you would like to actually go in the direction and fulfill them and try them out, you are in a position where you are prolonging something, you're delaying something which is not just some kind of a basic, need, but it's something you feel strongly about, and you would really like to take action on those aspirations. And I generally believe that sabbatical here is kind of like a small retirement. You allow yourself to retire early when you have more energy to actually act and realize those things or those actions, those dreams, those aspirations when you have the energy, and when you can actually turn this energy eventually into action and maybe help other people or realize your dreams, whatever it is. Because all of us are kind of forced to take the sabbatical, but when we are 50, 60, it's much harder because you might be actually forced because of different reasons, and b, you do not have the energy. And I think many people really underestimate the situation where your net worth might go up but your energy goes down. And generally speaking, like, you never need actually that much net worth to actually realize your aspirations or the direction you want to do. Most people really uh, have dreams which are not related to like tons of money on the bank account. That's general idea. So of course there are exceptions. So the idea is that you force yourself into the early retirement, and I use force here knowing that of course that has to be like a deliberate decision, but it's never going to be 100% safe. There will be there will be always situation where you take some degree of risks, and you have to kind of evaluate whether it's worth it for you. So that's the first point I wanted to share with you, that if you are on the line whether to take it or not, think about it in terms of the ratio between the energy and money you have and the situation, because oftentimes it's a money question to a big degree as well, because you are taking really time off and you will most likely will not be making at least not as much money as when you're making before. So that's important to really speak about. But you're trading it for really like your future happier self, and to a situation where you might never literally have to go to retirement because you do something you really enjoy, and ultimately you want to do it, for rest of your life to some degree. And the second aspect I would like to share with you, which I think is also there might be confusion around why sabbaticals are so useful. Um, the whole point is why you're taking it is because you don't precisely know which direction you want to go. If you would know that, you could just create a plan in your diary and kind of execute on specific steps one by one when you have the spare time. But very often that's really impossible because the clarity is missing. You're missing clarity, you're missing something which gives you the guidance and the direction. And the direction is most important, because if you're like fulfilling some steps every day and it's in a direction which does not resonate fully with you, then it's useless. You're going to the wrong direction, and most likely will have to spend energy to go back and realign with where you want to go. And I think this is another second thing which is extremely important, that the sabbatical is a space where you allow yourself to experiment. And this is like, again, like topic on its own to even do that, because we are taught a lot by we are taught the opposite. We are taught to follow, and we are taught to do things, as it's supposed to be, etc., etc. So there is a lot of status quo you kind of have to break from and replace it with allowance and freedom for yourself to actually figure out what really resonates with you, and whether the ideas you kind of had on top of your mind is the real thing. If it's not just another layer which you kind of need to remove to actually see the real path you would like to take. And this sabbatical will allow you to do that. And the outcome does not necessarily have to be that you kind of either like start your own business or you actualize yourself in some specific area and it like fulfills your dreams. What's really important outcome of this phase where you take time off, it's just the clarity and the experimentation, and the outcome is the some more specific steps you can take. So if you take job again after sabbatical, it can be pretty similar domain even. You are on a different plane, because chances are, if you spend the time constructively and meaningfully, you will be in position where you will be much closer to be able to take those steps, off work, when you are off work, when you have time, into the direction which is aligned with you. So those are the two things I wanted to share. First one is that the energy-money ratio, where really it's not a good idea to underestimate the amount of energy you have when you are younger, and to act when there's still plenty of time and plenty of energy. And second one is the aspect that sabbatical is primarily for the free space you have to experiment, to allow yourself to do things you haven't done before, to try things, to fail, to succeed in some degrees, and observe yourself in this playing ground to actually find out which direction aligns with you. And the outcome after that doesn't matter whether it takes another year to kind of realize those steps in some larger scale, etc. I think those two are really valuable to know. Please let me know in the comments if you have some other ideas or questions or videos you would like to hear about in this area or domain. I'll gladly make them, and good luck. Thank you. Cheers.